exactly what we just did.
You didn't resolve it. You didn't
We did.
resolve whether
We
it
said
was
It's not an action item before us this evening. We are not voting on these minutes this evening. We will review and take it under advisement, and if we need to update the minutes, we will. But either way, it does not prohibit us in any way from continuing our meeting at this time. So we're
Okay,
going
I'll
to do
object
so.
next week. Thank you.
The objections are moving on. Can we go to finance, property, and supply now?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. And I would also state that I'm unaware of how any members of the public would be able to comment on the topics that were discussed in an executive session and try to state that they are different than what was announced.
I just said why.
So,
Well, Nick, I mentioned it in my complaint.
which I told you was inappropriate. So go ahead.
Well, but
Okay.
that's what everybody in this audience heard. What I just said is what she's commenting off of.
Okay. Go ahead, Steve.
Thank you. All right, Finance, Property, and Supply Committee report. We have the Fellowship of Christian Athletes to use the MAMS classroom on Tuesday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. beginning October 21st, 2025 through May 26th, 2026. Is there any questions or comments or anything about that? Okay. The snow removal proposal from Herrick Building Investigations is something that we do every year. We renew. It's a contract to add to, above and beyond what our facility and manager and what plows and stuff we have on the district. If it's a huge snow, we have the option to bring these people in. Are there any questions or thoughts on
I
that?
have a question.
Yes.
Is Herrick the one we use all the time? Have we used it in the past?
It's just a renewal every year, every
So we
season.
don't get
We
any
haven't used,
prices?
we haven't actually had the need.
We haven't had to use them in quite some time.
It's just we have reserved in case we do.
Just need a backup.
Go ahead, Donna.
Donna?
Thank you. So on the Herrick proposal, I'm glad we haven't had to use it. Is this the same one we've had in the past? This current writing?
I believe so.
Okay. I asked that question only because I'm just concerned why we would entertain a proposal that specifically says that they're offering these hourly rates but are not offering availability guarantee. The school district requires a guarantee of availability and performance. A separate snow removal contract must be in place. Why would we accept a proposal that doesn't guarantee availability of a service that we're trying to acquire? In other words, we're looking for someone to do snow removal for us in the event that we ever should need it, okay? I understand this is probably for heavy snow removal, but still the same. If we're looking for a company to secure, to do our snow removal, and be able to rely on them, according to the way this is written, it says if the school district requires a guarantee of availability, wouldn't we want them to be available to do the service if we were to need them and have a huge snow? And then guarantee availability and performance. And then down the bottom it says, they're not responsible for any grass or landscaping repair, which we're not gonna find until spring, because I'm assuming this is gonna be for a huge snowfall. I'm sorry, I'm just not comfortable with the way this is written, because it sets, it could, I'm not saying it will, it could possibly set our school system up for not even having a company available, because there's no guarantee of availability. I think they're just covering their butts in case that they don't know the circumstances of what this snow is gonna bring, and they're gonna have other clients, but we do have our own maintenance department that.
We can certainly go back and ask them for a guaranteed availability, but I'm not sure if that will or will not change the rates to.
No, it will increase the rate, it says that in the paperwork.
I'm not sure what that will be, because we've always just had them on a standby
looks like you want them to be the primary snow contractor provider. You want it rewritten so they are the provider.
I don't
And
want
they will
anything
provide the guarantees, they will provide any repair from landscaping, they'll provide all the, you know, because when snow is 3 feet, 4 feet thick, you don't know where the curves are unless they're marked beforehand, if they do a walkthrough beforehand. And, you know, when you're moving all kinds of snow and trying to open up the district, there are gonna be damages potentially. And so, if you wanna rewrite on the contract and have them be the primary provider, then you can put all that language in there. But like Tom said, the rate could be significantly different.
Okay.
Yeah, but aren't we taking a gamble? Because as I read this,
Yeah.
and I've read it too, it says, but not offering availability guarantees. So that's basically saying, all right, Steve, I'll show up and help you move, but I may not be there. That's not gonna work. Because if you sign a contract, and any contract I've ever signed, the contract means that I'm signing, you're signing, you agree to do a certain service, you agree to pay for a certain service, and now we're just saying, well, you know, but not offering availability guarantees. So what if it does snow really deep and Herrick says, you're not showing up? Then why do we even sign this contract?
If it snows really deep, we're not coming to school anyway.
Well, I agree,
Kids
but
aren't
somebody's
getting
gonna have to
there.
move it with big
So-
I
equipment.
guess it's true. I mean,
Yeah.
guess
I mean, you're
it's
gonna
true.
need a big backhoe, you're gonna need a lot to move that kind of snow. And they're gonna,
Right,
somebody's gonna have to show
that's
up.
why it says on the documents, the kind of trucks on
So,
the.
I would just state from, because I have family in the snow removal business, that they, typically what contractors will do is allot their equipment based on the number of customers that they have. And they're only gonna take on as many contracts as what they can reasonably do during the snow. So, and I would state that most likely the case would be that there are contracts that they're guaranteeing that they're going to be working are gonna be the first priority
Exactly.
versus just an on-call contract where that sort of thing. I'm not disagreeing with you, I'm just stating a possible explanation for why that may be. We can certainly ask Tom and Victor and whoever's involved with that to go back and see what language adjustments we can have made and bring
It's
that
up to the
forward
board.
to the next meeting.
If that's
I mean, it's up to the board. I'm just bringing it up as my concern.
It's not gonna.
Phil?
And this is basically just giving us a rate, that they're not gonna gouge us when the snow comes in heavy and say, oh, it's just gonna go $500 if you want us.
No, I got
I
it.
mean, it won't guarantee that they're gonna be here, but this is the rate they're gonna guarantee us. And that's,
I was born in New England and went to college in Vermont. I'm a snow lover, okay? I'm very aware of snow removal and how it happens. I'm okay, I'm good with that. What I'm not good with is having, just personally, and I only speak for myself, is having a proposal that doesn't even guarantee availability. I'm sorry, I know the rate's gonna be.
May I just suggest that, let's let Tom follow up with them, see where we're at on the priority list. My guess is, they're trying to protect themselves a little bit.
Sure.
I would like to think that the school would be a pretty high priority on their list. And if we do ask for a guarantee, just what that increase in rate would be. I don't think there's been many occasions over the past few years where we've had to engage them. So let's not create a crisis if we don't have one, if we can, but let us find out more information on that and where we're at on the priority list.
Thank you.
Good question.
And now we're gonna have a big snow this winter.
Nobody will show up.
All right.
All right, next item, okay, we have an anonymous school lunch account that was donated. The 2026-27 Act 1 resolution. Anybody have any questions or thoughts?
That's pretty simple, we're not gonna, the board is deciding not to go above 4.5%, correct, Tom?
That's correct, we're putting a ceiling at 4.5%.
Correct.
All right, the D, the student lunch account, anonymous, just recognize that.
Yeah, can you just remember to recognize and thank him when we
No, I'm sure you'll do it as well.
All right. The change orders, under E, change order 133, the band room sound system for $32,890.87. Change order 34, the choral room sound room system, $32,890.87. And change order number 3, it's change order number 35, excuse me, the music room upper learning commons sound system, $32,890.87.
Steve, for those that weren't here at the committee meetings last week, Tom or whoever you designate, Judy, can you just give the full board a brief update on that?
Yes, so the music spaces, the band room, choral room, and music room, we're going through several iterations of design. Through that several iterations of design, the sound systems were noted that they were not upgraded. As Dr. Bergman said at FBNS, they were kind of piecemeal together for years with secondhand equipment. This is an opportunity to provide a sound system within those spaces that they've never had before. I think that's kind of the summary.
Yeah, and when they started tearing out the ceilings and redoing some of the wiring and things in those 3 areas is when they just, well, mostly the 2 areas, because the middle school will be coming up into the 3rd area. But same situation with Michaela's room as well. So when they started tearing the ceilings out, they realized that our band and music and choral rooms don't really have sound systems, that they have had items donated or gifted or things that they've brought in from home over the years, and they've just been like piecemealing it all together and making it work. I think I used the example at FPNS that in Adam Bish's room, he has 2 old, really old style, it makes me think of when I was growing up, old style music stereo speakers on his wall, and that's what he's using as part of his sound system right now. And he had it wired into some other like mics and things like that. So like they don't even have Bluetooth capability right now in their room. So with the original package that RLPS first gave us, we went to Mr. Bish, Mr. Lobal, and Ms. Patero, and they really whittled it down to just the bare necessities. And I think I also shared last week that the majority of that fund is not equipment, it's installation. The equipment is like a fraction of that, but it's really when Lobar put it out to bid for the equipment to be installed, I think we were all a little shocked at the amount that it came back to for the installation.
And, Judy, not to interrupt you, but can we clarify for the public who's listening to this meeting, we are talking about the high school?
It'll be the secondary school, middle
Right,
school,
right, but
high
we're
school.
talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah.
I still call it the high school because
Okay, yeah,
it's not a
that's
middle
fine.
school yet, but you get my point.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people will say, what building are they talking about?
Yes, it is the new, and as Thomas said, it went through a lot of iterations of designing that space. So the band room, the choral room, a lot of renovations that happened in that choral room. And then the upstairs library where the tech office used to be is being turned into a middle school music room. So that had no sound system whatsoever in it. And the stuff that Michaela is using at the middle school is also piecemeal together. So for her to take secondhand and thirdhand stuff that she's piecemealed over the years and then just recreate it up there it's just not ideal. I mean, you have 3 music teachers who are trying to teach music and sound and production, and they don't even have the sound equipment to really have a quality program. Oh, I should restate that, because they do have a quality program, but they should have also the quality material to go into it. And they did not pick top of the line equipment whatsoever.
Now, a couple questions. Number 1, why wasn't this seen when the renovations were first done in 2023 approved? Number 1. And number 2, is this money, Tom, is this already sitting somewhere?
This would be coming from the change order fund, so Gil presents that, Gil presents that as part of his update to the board every month with this change order number, so that would be
that, by the way.
With the reminder of.
Yeah,
the
so the
percentage.
total that was approved within the project was just shy of 1.8 million.
That's what I thought.
1.79 and some change there, but it's all about 1 million.
So essentially, if we approve this, it would already be within the scope of the 1.8 million.
Correct.
It wouldn't be any extra cost to the district, although I tend to believe if the change orders would have come in way less than 1.8 million, we would have had an excess left over to put somewhere else, correct?
The way the board has structured this bond funding, yes. The last part is through the general fund, so any savings we would see would be directly in the district's general fund.
So we're eating into that technically.
It was already pre-allotted, so.
Right. But I'm saying, if we didn't use it, let's say if we didn't use it, we would be dumping it back into the general fund anyway, in the end of the project. So we are using it, so we won't be dumping it, is what I'm saying, so we're just eating more into the 1.8 million.
It's already
Yes.
borrowed money.
Well, it is, but if I borrowed 200,000 and only used 100,000, I'm taking 100,000 back to the bank, that's what I'm trying to say.
Correct it, yeah. Whatever would be left over.
Regardless of how much I borrowed, yeah.
Less would come back to the general fund.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to get the clarity on that, thank you.
And to your first question, it was through what we said, many different design changes. It got lost in the shuffle of architects and everybody designing.
So these rooms, now
Until
you,
they ripped out,
I was
until they
gonna
ripped out
say-
the
I was
ceiling,
gonna say,
they didn't know.
yeah. You call it a core room now, I don't want to call it a course, but I'm not anything
Chorus.
wrong.
No, yeah.
Is
So
it a
that's
chor-
where they would have chorus.
Okay, okay. Yeah, somebody said, what is a core room? I said, well, I don't know, I'm gonna ask. So I thought I would ask you. So these rooms became in existence when the middle school addition was put on? Or
No, so the band room was already there.
Okay,
And
band
had
room
not
already
been touched in years.
Okay,
And
band
that's
room
when they
there.
they were tearing the ceilings down to like do some of the new wiring, the Wi-Fi, hotspot, like all of that type of stuff. And I'm probably talking like Eric language right now, which is not going well. So like when they were looking at all the wiring and tearing the ceilings out, that's when they realized how much these gentlemen have just been, again,
Piecing it together.
like they've just been piecing it together for years, yes.
And then the choral room,
So that had a lot of built-in cabinetry, and so to make his space bigger, to have chorus in there, instead of always utilizing the auditorium, because now with having middle school and high school there, that auditorium is gonna be used more, so we can't always count on it as a classroom. So tearing out all that cabinetry, his ceilings, and working through that, again, is when, the discovery, kind of all together at that same time, that they did not have adequate sound equipment. And then, of course, the old tech room didn't have any.
so the music room, was that always in existence?
That's the middle school.
The middle school one?
Well, yeah,
The
correct.
band and the chorus room, yes.
Upper Learning Commons
No.
sound system.
That would be, a no, that was not a music room, that was the technology office.
Okay, so this is becoming a music room?
Yes, for middle school, yeah.
Becoming for middle school?
Mhm.
Okay, I just want to try to get acclimated to what it's becoming for middle school.
And some of it might make more sense when we do our walkthrough.
Right, and that's what I kind of want to visualize right now, at least to see it when we go for middle school. Good.
Don?
All right.
Just a couple questions, if I may. All three of them, excuse me, all three of them, 33, 34, and 35, all have a material C attached list that totals $982.15. I haven't been able to get it to total that, but that's okay. Is it under raceways, wiring cable, lighting and fixture, is that the list? I don't really know who to direct my question to, so I'm just kind of saying it. I'm not sure if it's Dr. Berryman or Mr. Schovic or.
That would probably most likely be a Victor question for that type of.
It's in regards to
detailed
the
question.
documents.
He specifically works on those directly, so that would be I can't answer that at the moment. I'd have to get
And he's
back
not
with
here
Victor.
tonight, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so then I guess the rest of my questions would still be for him too, because on the page that has the details on it, it says the system price per room as quoted is $19,830, but it doesn't say how many rooms. Is it, are we to assume one room per,
Yeah. Yeah, each change
per
order should
contract?
be.
Okay, okay. And then, it says under additional shipping, if we're to use the warehouse for any reason, the B&B's integration warehouse, that additional cost is not included in the quote, how much would that additional cost be? And I guess, we need to use that, number one, and if we don't need to use it, doesn't matter the cost.
We would not need to use that.
Okay, good, that's awesome, thank you, you're doing awesome. And then, there's an additional 3.99% processing fee. Do we pay these bills, because I don't know, and I apologize for asking a lot of questions. Once I get my feet underneath me, we'll be good, and I won't bother you as much, I promise. But do we pay these bills by credit card, because it says if we do, there's additional fee?
No, because of the way the bond operates, we pay via check.
Okay, so none of these things would apply then?
Nope.
Awesome, okay, great, thank you so much.
And Donna, if you would,
Yeah.
would you be willing to send us a list of questions that were not answered for Victor?
For next week, sure.
For next week, and we'll
Or
make sure
just
that
go-
we
Yeah,
have-
yeah, the first question, I'm sorry, if you would just type it up, we can answer it back.
And if there are any additional, we'll go to Victor, and
Okay.
Victor's gonna be with us in the walkthrough, and we're gonna go make sure that he's here for the meeting as well.
Okay, great, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, go ahead, Steve.
On F, municipal bid items, Tom, you can just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so most of these municipal bid items are from the older weight room. Added on a new weight room and cardio room within the project. A lot of these items are now obsolete, so now we have newer equipment, so will be auctioned off. Without any other items besides, mostly the weight equipment.
And that equipment was donated to us, so this is just nice profit for us.
Yeah, so that'll be
The
held.
weight room that's in the municipal,
Never
that's,
sold weight.
originally municipal.
Never sold weightlifting equipment.
The weight
We,
stuff?
as I said,
Oh,
we
this
have.
was donated.
Yeah, it was donated, and they said we
around
can
prior
sell
to
it and keep
this.
the money.
Oh, you did good.
All the items sold, usually, I would say the last time the weight equipment sold pretty recently.
Okay, so I have a hard time getting rid of weight, but still my exercise.
Actually, Dylan bought some of ours.
Yeah, we-
Good, okay, so you had another school system.
I can't
Well, that's
hear.
great.
Sorry, we were just saying Delone had bought some of our older weight.
He was asking
He's
about-
donate,
Oh,
usually
yeah,
does
right, right, I
sell.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, our last round of weight equipment sold fairly well under municipal, so this is alleviate the rest of that.
Is the phone,
equipment.
whoever was on the phone is gone.
That was Danielle.
All right. Yeah. We're gonna discuss the 2025-2026 ACT operation budget amendment.
Yeah, I have some concerns with this. Some things to consider. I don't want to use the word misled, but I feel like we weren't given accurate information. And I have a big problem with this 19.36%. Our quarterly payment seems to have gone up, or more information disclosed, to the tune of $6,000, and that's per quarter. So that'd be an additional above $24,000. We have a $15,000 stipend for the superintendent of record. In addition, they hired an assistant superintendent. So,
Assistant Executive Director.
okay, assistant executive director, okay, so,
You're supposed to help with all the duties.
yes, and I understand that part, but this is becoming a way more expensive project that's gonna fall on the taxpayers if something's not changed. And I know that there's a public meeting this Thursday evening for people to come to. But I just right now in good faith, until we get factual information, I just don't, and clarification on this, I just don't think that we can consider this at this point. I know we're not voting tonight on this, we're voting on it next week. But we need a tech program, and this is where I would really like us to really consider and hone down on this, what we're gonna do with MAMS, Maple Avenue, because this is a lot of money, a lot of money. That's some concerns I have.
And Janelle, tagging in on what you said, I agree with you. Here's what really bothered me too. They mentioned here several times that some of their salaries weren't consistent with other districts. Well, are we just finding this out now? Meaning, is Sean just finding out that we weren't paying people enough over there? That's what I'm asking.
Well, that was the thing that was crazy to me, because we approved this budget in May.
Correct.
And like, why is it just, like, a few months later, you just all of a sudden decide that, oh, well, we need to pay these people more?
Correct.
To me, that's not in the ordinary process.
Correct.
I think should be.
Donna's got her hand up, she's the only one that raises her hand.
Go ahead, Donna.
I'm sorry, I follow Robert's Rules of Order. My question is, under collective bargaining negotiations, it says we're still in progress when the original budget was submitted for approval. Some of the assumptions that were made were inaccurate, and the amounts adjusted for the amendment to $24,532. Add that to all the rest that's on this list, $57,000 for additional second teacher, and $15,000 for superintendent, $30,000 for additional personnel, $127,000. So, I'm sorry, I'm sharing.
So,
on my
let me jump in here real
Wait,
quick.
she's still,
Just-
let
oh,
her
I'm
get
sorry.
her question.
You're still recognized. Go
Do I
ahead.
still have time on the
Yeah.
clock?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, I apologize for sharing my frustration with this, with all of you, but there's some, with what I've experienced in years past, there is a major red flag with this. And one of the red flags is when you're in collective bargaining negotiations, there's no assumptions made. You can't, no one can afford to do that. I understand we're a small school system, so you might be able to afford it a little bit more than a larger school system, but you can't make assumptions. So I would be very uncomfortable moving forward with this until we can get more information back from our staff. I don't know how long this has been happening or going on for. Are we just, and we're just noticing this now, how does staff have any recommendations on where we're gonna find the funds for this? Like, and I understand it's not, we're not gonna be required to pay the $127,000. We'll have to pay the $24,600, but that's, add this to everything else. And weren't we just talking about snow removal? I think we're already at the 6-foot level, or mark here. We gotta kind of pull this back a little bit.
I want to apologize for interrupting. I did not mean, I thought you were taking a breath there, so I apologize for that. What I encourage all of you to do, and the general public, is to go to this meeting on Thursday night at Gettysburg High School at 6 p.m. Now, there is a format. If you go on the ACTU website, you'll be able to submit email questions. Flood them with your questions. Get it to them so that we can try to get it processed. And show up and talk to these people and tell them how you feel and ask them for some sort of plan, some sort of what are they going to try to do and move it. We all want this program to succeed. We all know we're the only county, I think, in the Commonwealth that does not have a technical institute and for trades. So we desperately need to try to solve this problem so that we can move it forward, but it's got to be done in a way that makes sense.
That's been one of our issues, is we haven't been getting